What's up, guys? So I wanted to talk to you real quick about something, and it's going to be about AMC and the shares, and and GameStop and some of these other plays. So we've all been in these plays for a very long time. Some been holding AMC for a year, and we're expecting a big squeeze. And I've said some of this stuff before. Now, if you look at the numbers and you look at everything that's going on with AMC and GameStop, you see how much is diluted with synthetic shares, fake shares, and they keep coming up with these shares and keep coming up with these shares like out of thin air. But I'm trying to drive too because there's a lot going on, and it makes you wonder why it haven't squeezed yet. And you see all these other stocks around you squeezing. There's so many stocks around you that are squeezing to big numbers. So why isn't AMC squeezing? Okay, for one, this is not FUD, okay? Some people gonna consider it FUD because they don't want to hear anything negative or what they consider negative about AMC. They only want to hear the good stuff about AMC. So, but you gotta keep in mind, there's gotta be this what if. What if this happened? What if, okay? You have to keep this in the back of your mind. And people are wondering, why haven't AMC squeezed? After all this, how come it hasn't squeezed to high numbers? It only got to what, like 70 something once before, and it came back down. So if the market is flooded, think about this. If they're constantly making synthetic shares and they're putting it out there for people to buy up, the real shares are out there. Now, these are my thoughts. As long as they keep producing synthetic shares, and there's some people that are selling the shares as it's going up because they're scalping, I believe that when people sell their shares, not knowing if they have real shares or not, I think some of the synthetic shares are being are being vaporized. They're just gone. So when the real share is placed back, I gotta go around this truck. When the real shares are placed back into the market, they get rid of a real synthetic share. There's so much going on over here. It's like semis and everything going on. But you know what I'm trying to say. So if you sell one of your shares and you happen to have real shares, which you have no clue if you got real shares with synthetic shares. Some of the synthetic shares out there, they vanish. I'm going to park right here. And at the same time, they're still creating synthetic shares. So the price doesn't really move. They're trying their best to make these synthetic shares disappear, but at the same time, they're creating synthetic shares to balance out the price. So it's like a give and take. When they know they have a real share back in the market, they grab it up because they have to fill these other shares. They have to go out and find these shares. They have to cover. So that's that. I wrote some notes down. And it's like everyone here is waiting on a squeeze. Like, there's no doubt in my mind everyone's here for a squeeze. They're not here for to be, with AMC. They're not here to be dedicated to AMC. But people say they're dedicated to AMC because they're apes. Okay, if you want to label yourself as an ape, you label yourself as an ape. But I'm not doing that, because I'm here to make some money, and I'm going to make some money. And I'm not going to tell, no one's not going to tell me that I can't sell my shares when I want to. But that's a different story. So everyone is trying to go towards this certain goal of generational wealth and financial freedom. Everyone is trying to do the same thing. If we have everybody doing the exact same thing, do you know what's going to happen? Everybody's not going to fit through that door, because everybody's trying to squeeze in there to achieve the same outcome. And only a few people is going to make it through that door and be lucky enough after they through that door to get chosen to be wealthy. And there's going to be some that squeeze through that door with a small amount, and they're going to get paid off that small amount. Some with a larger amount. So there's going to be, when the squeeze happens, we all know that there's going to be halts going up. And this is going to be a very big problem, because once it squeezes, there may not be, your order is going to be placed in a lot of time if it halts, or you have to wait till it opens up in order for your share to get filled. Or you place an order anytime during the squeeze, you place an order and your order get placed in a queue. They're going to place your order in a queue until they find the shares to fill it. So as your order is being held in a queue, the price is moving up and down, and you may already have a set price to where you want to sell. So the price they may hold you in a queue for a very long time, and the price may just come slamming down, and then you're left holding it back, or you lost out because they filled your order as it was coming down. So you got to keep that in mind. Then you have to also know that in order for your shares to be filled, there has to be shares in the market. If there's no more shares, if they done gobbled up all the real shares, and all of a sudden the synthetic shares disappeared, they can't fill your order. What are they going to do? They can't fill it. So if they can't fill your order, you're just going to be, like I said, you're going to be sitting there, and you could have $1 million something and you're waiting for your order to get filled. And by the time the market opens back up, you're not going to get the price that you want. It could come slamming back down as your order is being held in the queue, and you're going to get less money. I think I just said that. So these are just some things you need to keep in mind, okay? Because everybody's not going to be wealthy. Everybody wants everybody to hold. That's the key. This is the strategy. Everybody wants everybody to hold, so the number can squeeze to this large amount. And then there's people that say, hold to 50,000. It's worth, but we all know what it's worth, right? But hold to 100,000. Hold to 200,000. We have to hold to a 200,000. And why some of these people are saying this, when this price go up, they're going to be selling their stuff. They're going to be selling their stuff, making money, because that's their strategy. And their strategy is they want everybody to hold. Like I would want everybody to hold as long as possible so I can get my money. And that's what people will tell you. Hold, hold, hold. Yes, we all know to hold. We all know what we're trying to achieve. But people that are constantly telling you to do this, they want their money. They want their money. So they want you to do your part so they can get their money. If you don't do your part, they're going to be upset. they're going to just be upset because they want their money. And by you doing what they tell you to do, I'm not saying don't hold, but by you doing what they tell you to do, you're making them rich and you may end up being poor. So you need to come up with a strategy and be prepared when this thing happens, because a lot of stuff is going to happen, and a lot of times your orders is not going to get filled no matter what you do, how you sell it, put a stop loss or whatever. Your orders is not going to get filled because there's not going to be any more shares available. And even if you're holding the share, the price may slam back down and then they fill your order at the bottom, towards the bottom. But that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to say. So these are things you need to think about. And I'm going to finish my lunch and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.